promised, let's get chatting with the management of Kirloskar Ferrous. Mr. R.V. Gumaste joins in as always to discuss and detail their business. More importantly, let's talk about the temporary suspension of one of their mini blast furnaces in Karnataka and get a broader outlook on their business as well. Thanks a lot, Mr. Gumaste, for joining in. Always a pleasure speaking with you. The first one is obviously on the operations of the mini blast furnace in Hiriyur, Karnataka. What does it mean in terms of production lost for you, and when does it start?
It's a planned stoppage of the blast furnace in Hiriyur for refractory lining, and it's going as per schedule. We expect to start the plant by 25th, 26th of March. The project is on time, and we should start it on time. Okay. And the major thing we are looking is basically refractory lining and as a routine requirement.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Gumaste, you're saying it's routine. So, this should have been then part of your plan, right? Earlier as well, since it was a routine.
So, it's part of the plan.
Okay. So, a couple of questions then on that aspect for both your businesses. For your pig iron business, what do you end the year with in terms of volumes as well as your casting business? FY23. And for FY24, casting business gets a leg up because you're going to be adding capacity out there. So, what's the volume targets on both these two for 23 and 24?
Yeah, what we are looking this year closure, as I mentioned earlier, we look for pig iron around 500,000 metric ton. There's no major change, maybe small change because of the stoppage. But otherwise, I think we stick to the 500,000 pig iron coming in, and casting we should be very close to 140,000 metric tons of sale, very close to those numbers. And on the pig iron pricing side, I think the prices have been stable for a couple of months.
Mr. Gumaste, before we get to pricing, let's just clear out the volume aspect. So this year we've got your volume targets, but for next year from 1.4 and from 5 lakh tons, what is the targets?
The pig iron will move up to almost 600,000 tons. In spite of stoppage of blast furnace 1 in Koppal for relining, most likely in the first quarter of next year.
And casting?
Moving on to the casting, we look forward to bring in another 15% growth on this current volume. I think that is the number, maybe 160, 165 is kind of number. The customer requirement and demand is strong. I think we should be able to ramp up by 15% on the current volumes.
Okay, all right, Mr. Gumaste, on the volume aspect itself, you're adding capacity. I just wanted to ask you, demand is strong, right? It's strong enough, and also you have a fair exposure to tractors. Everyone's talking about this El Nino effect. Have you seen any slowdown from tractors clients that you have?
Yeah, last 3 to 4 months, the tractor demands are not very strong. But as you know, we have very broad customer base, and we are there in almost all types of components. And that always keeps us strong in terms of our order book position. And auto is going strong, deemed export is going strong. The commercial vehicles, especially heavy commercial vehicles, deemed export is strong. So our foundries are loaded. It's our ability to ramp up the output and productionize the line 4 or the new foundry in Solapur. That is the thing on our hand that should drive our volume for.
So you're saying that tractors, there is some softness, but still you're expecting a 15% growth, right?
Overall 15%.
Okay.
All right, 15% growth. Then let's talk about ISMT. You know, what is the current production rate at ISMT for both alloy and tubes? I mean, what's the ramp up likely to be out there? And any inkling on the merger with ISMT? When does that take place?
Yeah, with respect to the volumes, we have focused, as soon as we have taken the management control, we have focused on operational aspects, efficiencies, uptimes, and we have been able to increase the output. For example, the steel from 220,000, we should be able to go towards 240,000 this year. And we are looking forward next year at least to go up to 260 or 270,000 tons. Out of that, a major quantity goes for conversion into seamless tubes in Baramat and Ahmednagar plant. We sell small quantity, which is like 70,000 tons, and hopefully should be able to sell about 100,000 tons of steel next year.
100,000 tons of steel next year is what you're targeting. Because I
Yes,
remember
yes.
earlier you said that the capacity for tubes would move from what, 1.6 lakh to around 2.5 lakh tons per year. That's roughly 14,000 tons per month where you are at right now. You expect it to go only up to, 100,000?
Currently, we are at around 13,500 tons per month, and we are trying to increase the output. I think what we are doing is the low-hanging fruits. We are not bringing immediately the major investments into ISMT, but debottlenecking projects we will start. But our focus, as you know, was on turnaround. Financial turnaround was very, very important. We have done major part of the turnaround. I can say that you have seen the results of last 2 quarters. We are profitable. We have increased the EBITDA levels, and we look forward to cut down the cost.
Yeah.
We have already ordered 70 megawatt solar power plant, and we are executing already. Before the end of calendar year 2023, we want to make it operational, which will bring down our cost substantially. And after that, we will also look for whether we should further expand the solar, make it more greener powers, and also cut down the cost of power.
Okay, so the 70 megawatt plant, it will be operational by the Q4 of next fiscal?
Calendar year, end of this calendar year.
So by the next
quarter.
And the total savings from this will be how much?
Around 60 to 70 crores.
60 to 70 crores. Great. And also your production run rate, if I got that correct, for tubes you're at around 13,500, and for steel you're going at around 20,000 per month?
Right now around 21,000 tons per month.
Got it. And also, Mangalam, I just asked you about the merger. When does that get concluded?
Yeah, we have already started the process of merger of ISMT into KFIL. Some of the approvals are already in place. Some more are in the process. I think within next 1 or 2 quarters, we should be in a position to complete the merger, subject to, of course, the regulatory approvals.
All right. So next 1 or 2 quarters is when that takes place. What about FY24 Capex? You've been talking about volume growth for the next year, etc. What's the Capex that you've lined up? How much of that would be organic? You've been looking at inorganic as well.
Yeah, I think the operations are supporting with very strong cash flows, and there is always ideas and thoughts how we should keep growing KFIL. I think we are right now in a requirement of further expanding the casting capacity. We are looking at organic, inorganic options to expand casting capacity. And as you know, we have already earlier only declared that we want to make steel in Koppal plant. We would be taking up that project as well as early as possible with the environment clearance coming to us.
Okay, on the inorganic part, Mr. Gumaste, I heard from sources that you're looking at a couple of plants. That's the buzz at least. Maybe in North India. Anything you want to tell us? Where is the location?
Basically, these acquisitions, unless they are in place properly, speculating is not a right thing because the processes are sensitive, and we will have to, when it comes to the announcement, we'll come back and definitely make the necessary.
And we'll be reaching out to you as well to get any confirmation. Final question before we let you go. Tell us about what is the recent pricing on pig iron as well as on casting business very quickly before we let you go. As of today, we have got the Q3 rates. So as of today, what is it?
I think there is no major drop in the pig iron prices over the last 3-4 months, but small corrections have happened. And with that, small corrections have happened in the casting. But no major drop in the pig iron and casting prices compared to what it was 1 or 2 months back.
I was thinking
find small, 2%, 3%?
I thought it will be higher, sir, as of now, in comparison to what it was at the end of Q3. For Q3, the average was around 45,000, and for casting, it was 128 rupees. So is it a little higher than that?
No, I'm not saying it's higher. What I said is whatever this quarter price drop in pig iron and foundry is very marginal and not major.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Gumaste, for joining in and giving
Thank
us
you
all
very
those
much.
details.
Pleasure joining your show. Thank you so much.
Thanks a
Have
lot.
a great day ahead. Thank you.
All right, so that was the management of Kirloskar Ferrous. The stock doing fairly well this morning, up around 4% but in the last 1 year or so, as Nigel pointed out, up 74%. Take a short break, come back, and more on the markets and a lot of stocks that are buzzing around.